Okay, so Kelly from the My Vivid Life and She's Fire. Welcome to YouTube
Yes.
Conversations.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you. Okay, so let's get into it. You're in Florida, right?
I am, yes.
Okay. Did you grow up there? Was you raised there?
No, I actually was born in Philadelphia,
Oh,
and
okay.
yeah, I'm a Philly girl.
What was that
So,
like?
I was young. I was in elementary when I left. All my family's still there. So, my younger years were spent there, and then summers as I got older. So it was good. It was a great time because I had all my family there and cousins. Used to do all those sleepovers, all that stuff. And then I moved, and I had none of that. So it was different. I moved
So
to
you
Virginia.
okay? So you grew up in Florida mostly, right?
After I left Philadelphia, I moved to the DMV
Oh, okay.
and lived there, went to school, high school and college there. And then I moved to Florida about 15 years ago.
Okay. And did you grow up in a two-parent household?
No, I didn't. My mom and dad in Philadelphia, they divorced. And
Okay.
so that was one of the reasons why I moved to Virginia. My mom remarried. And so
Okay.
two-parent house, but not the same. The parents changed. The parental
Okay.
figures changed.
But you still
Um,
had okay, but you still mostly grew up in a two people, two adults, two parent household. Now,
yes.
did you grow up with other friends that didn't have a two parent household?
Um, yes, I did. The girl that I was really close to, she lived around the corner from my house in Virginia, and she had her mom and a couple siblings, and yeah, that was actually the case for a couple of my friends.
How did
Yeah,
you see a difference between your upbringing and just the things that they may have struggled with? It probably hit you as you got older, like thinking, "Wow, that was
I believe that when it's a mom and that is the head of the household, um, she takes on a stronger role because she's supporting typically she's supporting two positions basically. um, so with me, my mom, she had my stepdad to help with that, and she kind of leaned on him more because he was the man of the house. As I got older, and I'm a single parent now too, I can see that strength of having to carry both sides again. I see it. I saw it in when my mom divorced for a short time, and I'm living that myself now.
what was the biggest struggle of you growing up?"
Probably the change because Philadelphia. I was in it was city. It was very urban city, and um, when we moved to the suburbs, and my stepdad was a corporate professional, and there was no one around, so it was very isolating. I didn't have anyone around. Friends became kind of like family, um, so it was different. I liked having the structure of comfort of the financial stability that we did have in the when we moved to Virginia, but the other aspect, the emotional side, the nurturing side, that was lacking.
Okay. How do you feel about children? You said you have children, right? How do
Yes.
you feel about them on social media?
Oh gosh. The pressure is so strong. I have three daughters. So I'm really only dealing with the younger one who's 13 now. Um, Peer pressure is strong to have all the social media, all the technology like the iPhone, but then even more so, hey, I have to be on, Snapchat and TikTok and Twitter and all those places. I'm like, no, you don't have to because it distracts you from doing other things. But I don't want her to feel left out. So I allow her to have those things without having sacrifice, doing the best I can to monitor it. But I try to give her some room from that aspect and watch. Watch.
Very difficult, right? I know that
It's
some
very
parents
hard.
they like to give their children privacy, and it's like
It's a fine line because she's 13, so she'll be 14, and then also because I am a single parent, there's that guilt that I'm not in the two-parent household, so
Yeah.
I want her to be as comfortable as possible, and if that means giving her a little bit more leeway with some of the things that she enjoys, if it makes her happy, I give a little bit more for that reason.
Got it. Okay. So on a scale 1 to 10, how easy is it being a mother?
Oh gosh, it's hard. You see this gray? You can't see it. I'm able to disguise it with the light here. Um, it's hard. I started so early. I was 19 when I had my first daughter. So it's been a long road. It's all that I know. So I can't really rate it. It's just you do, and you just go and you do the best you can. And you stumble and you make mistakes. I used to beat myself up about it. You know, in my earlier years, my younger years, but as I've gotten older, I'm like, I did the best I could. I'm still doing the best that I can. I hindsight's 2020, but you can't look back and say I woulda, shoulda, coulda. So you can only say, I'm sorry if I didn't handle that situation better. I'm trying to be better today. That's it.
The older I get, because I don't have any children, the older
Okay.
I get, I really wish I had. It would have been a struggle. I wish I had my kid when I was like 19 or 20. I would have got
Oof.
that whole baby. So now I'm 36, but if I, 40 years, imagine 40 years old, 60 years old, they still bother you.
It's a little bit weird. Like, okay, should I have a kid at 19 or should I wait until I was mid 30s? Yeah,
So I
I,
know when I was 19, I was thinking like, let me do this later on. Now that it's later on, I'm thinking "Man, I should have just you went through everything I should have been.
got it over with.
I was
Especially when
already
you
going
have
through stuff.
patience. Like your patience is a little bit more tolerable. I couldn't imagine having a kid right at this moment, like at this
Going
time.
through the whole. Let me
I'm
ask you.
counting. I mean, I'm looking forward to being an empty nester. Let me put it that way. Because I started so early. I've started so
Mm.
early. That's the reason.
So take me back, right? So I think with a lot of women, they forget how strong they are, right? Because I think the biggest struggle you can go through is giving birth, right?
Yes.
That you have to be a really strong woman to go through birth, the
Right.
motions and everything. So you could take me back a little bit, right? What
Okay.
was your experience or feeling having your first child?
Being 19, I think the ignorance of it all helped me because I was so young and I didn't know what I was in for. And their dad, the dad is a dad for all three girls. We got married, but we were both young and figuring it out, and we had to sacrifice a lot of things, like not go to school, not finish college. I stopped going to college. I would take class here and there, until you have your kid and you know that they're your responsibility, and you kind of take a back seat, and you don't realize that in that moment, that you're going to struggle because you're not prepared. You just starting in college and starting going to school, and even with their dad and I, do we want to be together? I don't know, because we're kids. So all of that followed and started to weigh on us. Probably why we're divorced today, amongst among many other reasons, but probably that didn't help.
The way I look at it with marriage is that a lot of people are scared to get married, but the thing about life, and I think as you get older, there's a lot of things I failed in, right? But
Sure.
it happened though, right? It's like that was before. So when you get, I think taking the step to get married, it does secure, for the most part, I believe, when you're having children. If it fails, at least it was from that one person. So if you can't stand, at least you can't stand one person, right?
You've isolated that one. Check. It's something, honestly. Life is about experiences,
Yeah.
and you plan and do the best that you can, but if it doesn't work out, it's okay. you pivot, you adjust, and you move on. It's a lesson that you learn to help you moving forward. And I think a lot of people, and I didn't, these things, those thoughts didn't come until later, but it's all about protecting your peace and what makes you happy. And before you kind of realize those things, it's maybe impressing other people, not wanting to disappoint other people. But when you realize I'm going to be me, I'm going to do the best that I can, I'm going to work hard, all those things, but I'm going to give myself grace as I go through my life. It's my walk. I only get one time to go around the mountain. So, whether it's family or friends, help me be great or get out of the way. That's that's basically what it is. Help me be a good person,
Yeah.
help me. There's no reason to complain or woe is me. And that's where I am right now. I do want to get married again. Oh, side note. But to the right person, and I will take my time as long as it can be. But again, it's about protecting my peace and creating peace. And, I love my family, but I'll keep my distance if you're making me crazy, right? I love you from afar.
From afar. What do you, so now, I mean, you've been to the gym before, right? I know you're
Yes.
going to be active, but you've been inside of a
Yes.
gym. Now, I've been studying martial arts for over 20 years, right? So
Okay.
I've, there's a lot of men that are physically fit,
Mhm.
very fit, but they can't fight. I know everyone thinks they can fight. I know everyone
Yeah.
believes they can fight until they get slapped, and they're like, "That's what a slap feels like."
Wow.
So
That,
what are your what are your thoughts? Because they're lifting weights, they're running, they're eating healthy, doing these things, and then they get attacked, and their girl, them and their lady getting beat up outside, right? What are your thoughts on men that are in shape but they're not practicing on how to protect yourself or their family?
um, it's
Self
funny
defense,
that you
right?
say that. Yeah, self-defense for sure. I mean, that's one of the things that I started beginning of the year. It's like, yeah, I think that I could, if in a situation I can get
Hmm.
out of it, it could be like run fast or duck and whatever. No, no, you can't. You can't unless you've got some like techniques that you've learned, that you've got some self defense skills that you have learned. It's not something that we know automatically. I think our fight or flight kicks in, yes, but knowing what to do, we're not Steven Seagal right off the bat, right? We're not going to be able to kick people's butt and defend ourselves. So I started taking to Shindo martial arts for that reason. I'm barely 5 feet tall, and I'm a single parent of girls. So I was like, okay, I know that I need to do something to make sure that I am got the smarts to know how to either avoid a situation, not be in that situation, or if I am ever, God forbid, in a situation, I can do my darndest to defend myself by learning certain martial arts techniques and from being a weapons owner. So between those two, I think that I'm covered. I hope. I don't have a dog. I don't want to have a dog, but with those two
Okay.
things, I think I'm covered.
And now you're experiencing that. It's a lifetime to really. There's so many situations that can happen, right?
Yes.
So she's fire. She
Yeah. She
fires.
fires. She fires. She
You started a
fires.
YouTube channel. She
I
fires.
did.
Why?
Um, when I started to practice martial arts, I knew that there could potentially be a situation where I don't want to get close enough where I have to do hand to hand like combat, defend myself. And with the craziness in the world, I just wanted to make sure that I was armed, but I knew how to handle that weapon. And so I started She Fires to kind of document my journey into the firearms community and that space because I am enjoying it. And I wanted to not, I wanted to be like a visual example of You don't have to be the military or law enforcement or, the black ninja in the dark, the bad guy to own a weapon. It could be a regular person, law abiding citizen, just like me, just wanting to protect yourself. And I wanted to dispel some of those misconceptions, what might prevent someone, man or woman, from, you know, going into the gun range and trying out different types of weapons that might be best for them. If they don't want to carry on their body, fine, but they have it in their home and they're practicing and they're training so that they know how to use it if someone tries to break into their home at the simplest level. But just kind of that newcomer, which is what I am. So I'm like, if I can do it and not have fear, it's okay. Give it a try and break down those fears, or doubts that I don't need a weapon. I don't need to protect myself that way. I have a man, I have a dog, I have a security system.
No, absolutely. And like I know you did a video on what if your man is not available in any
Yes.
reason, just had surgery, sick, not home at work, right?
He got bumped in the head and laid out on the kitchen floor. What are you gonna do?
you know, what are your thoughts on? I'm pretty sure you see on YouTube countless, just countless of females being attacked.
Yes.
They went jogging now 2020, 2021. If you're
Okay.
jogging and you get attacked, I look at so many instances when if you had something, there's so many hidden things on you. New York City is very strict. That's the problem. It's
Sure.
extremely strict. You can't carry a BB gun.
What about pepper spray?
Pepper
What
spray is
about
illegal. Isn't that
what
crazy?
about a taser?
Taser's illegal too. Unless you're law enforcement. New York City is very strict on all those. But you know who does have guns? The
The
person
bad
that's
guy.
robbing you.
Exactly. They don't follow the rules. That's so crazy. I mean, especially me being here in Florida, where all those things I've just stated are allowed and okay. Um, it's scary. It's scary because the bad guys are not going to follow the rules, so you're there vulnerable. What's that other? There's a country too. There's that I just ran across. Australia, is it right? I mean, sorry, yeah, sorry, the continent of Australia. Yeah, there's certain places where just countrywide, no weapon, nope. But then the bad guy has it. Like, he's gonna find a way, and then we're all walking around like sitting ducks.
Yeah, just like the guy that was caught. He was creating ghost guns. He got his PPP loan, and he was creating guns
Mm,
and selling them for $70. $70 to buy a 9mm handgun that he created.
did
No,
it
no,
work?
no serial number. So when you have people like that, when you have teenagers that saying, you know what, they're gonna buy because a teenager,
Teenagers,
if I had the opportunity as a teenager, who knows, right? It's cool.
just to
But
have it.
when people carry weapons that's not disciplined, they tend to be more tough, right? Like, if there's they don't know how to use verbal jujitsu, right? Like to
Right.
calm the situation down.
The
Um,
goal is to, what do you call it? De-escalate.
de-escalate. Yep.
Yeah. Meanwhile, they want to be tough guys. It's like you don't want that to
You wasn't
happen.
like that last week when you didn't have that. Last week you wasn't like that.
Mhm. You were really quiet last week.
So, like, how long ago did you shoot your first gun?
It's been many years. I was
Okay.
doing it just for fun, casually. Up until about a year and a half, I got my concealed carry permit, and I said I want to take it a little bit more seriously. Because sometimes I go into the gun range and people are looking at me like, "What are you doing here? You don't know what you're doing. Like, watch out, people. She might, like I know what I'm doing. I'm trying to get better, but I know enough to point, down range. How about that?" um, so that's why I want. That's why to make sure I want, especially women, for them not to feel intimidated, um, or apprehensive about touching it. I had a girlfriend who found out that I went to her house and we had like a little girl gathering, and I brought my, concealed carry because I wear it with on me. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, Kelly, you have your weapon now?" It's like, "Yeah." She goes, "Oh my gosh, why do you have that?" I'm like, "What do you mean? Why do I have that? What do you mean? Why don't what? Why are you looking at me like I'm getting ready to attack you now?" I suddenly felt like she was accusing me of like being a vigilante or something. Like, what do you mean? So that's what I want to dispel.
So your first time at a shooting range,
Mm-hmm.
right? Was that recent or
Yes,
that was like okay?
it
How?
was years ago. Let me see here. I used to date someone who grew up in Ohio, so guns were normal, and so he kind of got me into it, and went out shooting with him and his family, like out and like on their farm. It was awesome. Oh, my light just came on. It was fantastic, and I said, "This is fun." But I didn't take it seriously until a year and a half. I was like, "I'm gonna get my concealed carry. I want to make sure that as I'm walking about again, because I'm a petite woman, I just want to feel comfortable and safe." In Florida, some all states are crazy, but Florida has some crazy people.
I think Florida has been, yeah, it's getting well known that that is a crazy state. Why is
I
like
love it
what's
though.
like is it something in the water? What's going on?
I know it might be. I love it though. I love it. It's yes, you know,
So you
sun,
love Florida?
fun, crazies. I don't know.
So basically, everyone's carrying in Florida, right? Basically.
Unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, no. Um, I think that certain groups of people, absolutely, yes. But there's not a lot of people who look like me who are carrying. The ratio is very, very low. And so,
Why is that?
I don't know. Well, I was talking to my mom's more open minded. I was talking to my family, and my mom's like, "I want one too," because she felt comfortable because I had one. She's like, "Well, it can't be too bad because you're practicing and you have a weapon." So she turned she changed her tune. My stepdad, he's like, "You don't need that. What do you need that for?" Like, there's no changing his mind. So you're gonna get that, gonna get those types of people. It's like I don't need it. I don't need it. I'll call the police. But police, how long does it take for the police officer to get to your house when the criminal's banging on your door? That's what
how
I
do you
think.
feel when like this woman recently broke into Drake's home, one of his homes, and she's suing him because she got injured when she broke in. I've heard of something like that before. Like, do you ever come across like kind of nervous to self defend yourself?
That is something. Again, one of the beauties of being in Florida, not really, is it's people are quick to sue, and um, when I do the martial arts, our instructors tell us to, you're about self defense, not being the attacker. So even if there's a situation and there's cameras around and someone is clearly attacking you, because certain martial arts techniques, you can't be the aggressor. You still have to have the same posture and shout, "No, stay away," and have your hands up and all of that. That I'm trying to remove myself, but if you keep coming to me, I'm going to break your arm, you know? So that's, you don't want to be the one that goes, Some of the
Mm.
other martial arts, some of the other arts, other defense training out there is more to you, more attack. But ours is prevention, de-escalate, and if you still continue coming, then that will be a problem. And in those situations, because there's so many cameras around, hopefully you're not in a position where you can get sued for defending yourself because you broke that person's arm. And the same with weapons too. It's important if you own a weapon to have insurance, because people, "Hey, you shot me in the leg, but you were breaking into my house." "Yeah, but I'm still going to sue you because you hurt me. I didn't get that TV from your house."
Listen, if you're, I feel like if you're in shooting range, that's a clear indication of you being shot. Listen, my thing is, if it's me or you, me or the other, it's always gonna be them.
100%.
It's I would my mentality is that I would never be a victim. I'm not gonna be the one on the news laid out or talking about with my teeth knocked out. Yeah, I told him to stop. That's not gonna happen. It's always gonna be. I have no sympathy for people that are out there causing crime.
Understand.
That's it will definitely be. If one of us gotta go, it would always be you. Take it how you want.
Exactly. And they tell you if you take your weapon out, be prepared to use it. So you do all that you can to de-escalate. But once it comes out the holster and you threatened me, you're trying to hurt me, then dot
And
dot dot.
it's kind of scary when I watch some of the I guess like police reactions of how they react to things. They try to use their taser and they end up getting stabbed because the reaction time for someone to run to you, it happens so fast. You won't even get a chance to get your gun out. Isn't that crazy?
Yes, especially if someone's like not in their right state of mind. They have on
And
that
sometimes the
that
cops are shooting them
warrior.
several times and they still coming at them with the weapons. Like, oh my, what do you,
I know.
what chance do I have? The cop is shooting them.
That's right. And that, yeah, they're the professional, and I'm just a regular little person. What then?
So okay. So we're gonna jump a little bit back and forth, right? So
Okay.
within the Black community, there's a lot going on. I mean, you've noticed that, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So what is one thing you want to take away from the Black community that you believe will help?
That I believe would help. Um, I think there's always talk about money and holding money and saving money and putting it away for investing, not burning it away. Holiday times are here, right? So you think about the holidays, you think about other types of things that are coming around. People are quick to burn their money on something that is immediate, that will go away. That's why, I mean, fortunately for my guy, I don't really care about like Valentine's Day. Like you spend so much money for this one day buying flowers, $200 flowers. They'll be dead in a week, and that was half of a person's week and their paycheck. You know what I mean? Think that the money that we think that the money that we earn should go into investing. I don't think we
Mm,
talk enough about financial literacy and preparing for our future. It's about living at the moment and buying things that really, how is that going to benefit you in the future? I wish that we focused more on saving and investing, and it doesn't take much. That $50 a month could be put into an investment savings account. And that is what I will be focused on for myself in the new year. Like just that financial stability. I wish that we cared more about that. It's just really we're immediate gratification. That's what we are.
mm. So that's something to take away, right? What do you believe? What would you like to add? You believe we should take maybe from other cultures, something like that?
I honestly don't look out to other people in that way, other groups. What I have noticed though, some communities, they keep their money together. They help one another open businesses and, get them off the ground. Once they do, they turn it over. Okay, who's next? Like they're more churning inside their community, and we don't do that. We give out to all people. We give our money to all without helping one another. And I don't know why. I don't know why.
I mean, if and we do give, it's sad that the money that we do give, like the woman that glued her hair, like I think they gave like $100,000 they raised. So,
Well, what is she doing with that money? That's the question. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, she had a situation. I don't think she did it intentionally. I don't think.
no, she
So she
did.
got this. Did she?
She thought Gorilla Glue was gonna help to hold her hair down.
You know what? That's right. But I don't think that was her intended outcome,
Oh,
that it
the
would
tenant
be.
outcome, no, it wasn't. But
Yes.
I do think she should have cut her hair bald and just what would you do if you got? I mean, if you would just probably get a hat, right? Cut it bald, get a hat. There's no, but um, like
What is she
what
doing
hat?
with
What
that money though? That's where I'm talking about. Like, you get that $100,000. Who is advising her? Because I know she may not know. Who
she
is
doesn't.
guiding her?
She doesn't know.
No, she doesn't know. Sorry.
And it's
Sorry.
sad that she has kids and she was a teacher, you know. But the money that people are giving her is like, okay. And then you look at the things that she bought with the money, it's like, man,
I don't know what she bought. I don't know.
cars and got pregnant again.
She
My
did
guy was
not.
still in prison. Yeah. So she did.
Were we not just talking about, like, with money comes great power and responsibility? All that money does and power does is enhance the person you already are. It's not going to change you. And she got all this money and she just amplified who she already was.
Exactly. Hey, listen, take $20,000 and go. You have 100,000. Take 20,000 and go crazy. The rest of it goes into something. But
Yes.
um,
Hire a financial advisor and give it to them to do something for you and your family. Does she have a will? Let's just start there.
no, I mean I don't know, but from what I saw, the her
Mhm.
IQ level, I'm pretty sure she never even heard of it. She obviously don't read, right? Because the Gorilla Glue, and
Oh
you
no,
know,
poor lady.
I'm trying not to go in on her. Listen, who is more privileged, blacks or gays?
I mean, I guess it depends on who you're talking to. Privileged? I won't say black people are privileged.
I think now is the best time to be black because right now the way everything's
Really?
going, man, the opportunity is just. I don't think black people had a better opportunity than now. I
I
think
mean,
now with the whole,
opportunity, yes, but taking advantage of the opportunities?
you
Tell
know.
me, what were you going to say?
So according to from what you believe, the blacks
Mhm.
or gays, who's more privileged?
I think that with some of the news that has come out on LGBTQ communities and some of the things that some of the programs and some of the support that they're getting, I would lean more towards them over black people. I mean, what's new? What's new for us? Because whatever is out there, I don't think that we're taking advantage of. And I don't even know what that is.
Yep, I hear a lot of one thing happens to them, they fight for their rights.
They
You can't be
absolutely
mad.
do.
They fight for their rights, and what are the things that we argue about? I say it's not me, but I have to say we, so I don't sound like I'm excluding myself,
I
But
know.
because then I'll be like, on the comment, he thinks he's better.
Hey, what do you mean by that? Oh gosh.
Look at the things that look at the things we fight about. We fight for. A lot of it has nothing to do. All these kids are going around killing each other, and I don't see not one representative of any of those black organizations or representing
Yeah,
these children. Going to the homes, finding out what's going on with these parents. How come your 14-year-old child is out 2 a.m.? Why is he on Instagram with his guns and all that stuff? And
exactly. Why haven't I
no,
seen your kid in school for a whole week? Like,
as
what are
soon as
you
the
doing?
person is shot by a cop with his financial gains, it's like chaos. Um, have you ever been on a horrible date?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh boy. Oh, that's a lot. That's a wrong road. Please let's not go down that road.
All right. So
No, I'm just kidding.
let's say you're on a date, right? You're on a
Yes.
date, everything's going everything's going fine. Exactly the
Yes.
way you want it to be, right? But then you look a little bit on the side, okay? And you see that his weave beard is peeling.
Oh boy.
You never heard of that? A lot of men
No,
now, yeah, because a lot of men now they want their beard to connect, so they get in the beard, but it's a weave, you know.
I heard of the
Um,
spray, like filling in. Really, but not.
so so listen, so you're on a date, everything's fine. He's exactly the way the way you want. Maybe not exactly, but he's good, right? This is a man that you've known from some time, his character, all that stuff. But now you're finally on a date with him. Everything's going perfect, but you see right here, it's peeling like this, like maybe like an inch off, and he's just having a good time
Okay.
with you. You
Hmm.
have to let him know it's
Do
peeling.
I?
How would
Do I?
you? how how would you tell him?
I would. I'd be embarrassed to say something to him. I would hope he would maybe go to the bathroom, or I would just lean in and just like press it against his face. I probably honestly would do that. Because I mean, if we're, whether we last or not, if we last, then I would probably find out that that's what it was. And if we didn't last, it really doesn't matter. I'm trying to help you out, dude.
I know that's so
Right?
random, right? The question.
Does that really happen? Oh boy, I never heard of the beard. I've never heard. I know the spray.
The spray, the
Um,
beard, the Minigan, and I'm like, you know
yes,
what? Um,
it's
I'm like,
it's a
I was
comfort level.
against it at first, but then I look at the before and after, like, wow, he looks really my
You
art.
look fantastic and
Yeah.
younger.
Mm.
The transformation, it's pretty. I mean, if you're self conscious about that, it's good. So, it's good. Just got to make sure it's tightened up.
So one thing that I see a lot is that women are men too, but women are not comfortable with their natural looks, right?
Yes.
You see, if you have Instagram, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes.
But now let's talk about surgeries, right? So a lot of females are so open. They're even traveling overseas, right? And getting surgeries and stuff like that. So you heard of the BBL, right?
Yes.
Okay. So let me see. Do I have that info? All right. So according to the American Society of Plastic Surgeons, the Brazilian butt lift (BBL) has the highest rate of death for procedures.
Mm. Yes.
What are your thoughts on that? And these are young, these are not older women that, saying, you know what, these are 18-year-olds, sometimes under, traveling overseas and getting that done.
The pressure is really strong. I mean, especially with me having girls, I tell them that they are beautiful, they're fine, just the way they are. Like artificial's not for you. You don't need to do any of that stuff, and they don't. I just raise them matter of factly in that manner. But they're on social media. I could see how maybe girls not having proper guidance and seeing social media and not being reminded that natural is the way, natural is best, that they could get that warped sense of, I've got to have big this, big that. And, you know, I'm dating myself, but, we didn't have this stuff when we were younger. So they weren't distracted by what the person in the next city or the next state, what they look like, next the country over there. And there was no competition, only what you saw on videos or TVs or movies. And everything is so in your face and everyone is doing it now. It's like, well, maybe I should do it. I want to look better. And it starts with one thing, the lashes, and then they want to like the lips. Like, oh, voluptuous is a good thing. Maybe it can get bigger boobs. And it just, the Victoria's Secret bra is not cutting it. I got to go up. I got to do something more dramatic because they're competing with other people. And I think social media is a cause for that.
No, absolutely. I've seen a post where supposedly this young girl, she must have probably been in high school, maybe junior high school, and every
Mm-hmm.
now and then the mom would pick her up. So she was a little bit made fun of because she's not shapely like her mom.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference. The mom looks different than her. The mother
Right.
has enhancements. So the daughter's probably looking like, why is there so much of a difference? Do I need to do that?
That's so unfortunate. I'm sorry that I could see that happening, and I honestly didn't until you just said that. The women 20s and 30s, they're getting all these enhancements, and then they start having children, and their kids are looking up to them like, okay, well, I'm shaped like a stick, and then you look like that. Am I going to look like that? What do I need to look like that? So it's a vicious cycle. I hope that the parents will guide them and say, it hurts, it's expensive, it's not natural. I'm hoping that when their time comes, when they're older, they'll see the news and they'll see things differently, but those things are unnatural. I hope this is just a phase.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a study's not conducted fully yet, but as a study is going on, that a lot of the women that are having these enhancements, these surgeries,
Mm-hmm.
especially within the black community, they're not getting married. Guys are not getting on one knee. Now, if they're dating, it goes through. But now, when they become more of a sex toy,
Right. I can see that.
So
What do
I
you
think
think?
is me personally, I wouldn't even approach you. Like, there's no, if it's not about business or interview or something, I wouldn't. There's no way you'll be my wife if you're um, girlfriend or if you're that if everything is sexual to you.
Right.
You
Right.
know, um, yeah. I mean, you're not satisfied with the way you look. Like everyone gets a haircut. I get it. You want to
Sure.
get your hair, your nail, but then it gets to a point. Even like a lot of the women, they're competing with drag queens. They're competing with
Yes.
transsexuals.
Yes.
They're
Yes.
competing with them. They go to the same
Mhm.
doctors.
I think too, like when you look at the people who are going through those kinds of transformations, they're either, my opinion, seeking attention, the attention seekers, like your satisfaction comes from what other people think of you. And then also, you know, something psychological is going on where you're transforming who you are, but your insides are still kind of the same, like a facade a little bit. And I don't think that us all people, I don't think that we look to therapy in a way that can help us manage some of the uh, physical aspects of some of the concerns we have with ourselves and come to terms like, this is who I am. Yeah, I want to, if you want to get eyelashes, but why do they have to be like this? You know what I mean? Like, why everything has to be so exaggerated? Yeah. I mean, do what you like. Do what you like. But why so where it looks, remember when it used to look somewhat natural, but now you just know that it's not real. Is that what you're going after? I thought it's supposed to look like a natural beauty. I don't know. I just try
Yeah.
to stay in my lane. I'm getting, leave that to the young folks. I like coming into my more mature years because I don't have to worry about that stuff anymore.
But I also think about, when I have children, just for my sons or my nephew to stay within the black community, look what they have
Mhm.
to pick from.
I know.
I mean, he has to go out to the country somewhere in the
Am I
valley or
supposed to?
something,
Am I supposed to
and it's
girl
like
who studies at home?
where is this what they gotta deal with? So, and I just want people in overall to it's a lot of depression. I think you have to be really, you gotta, because a lot of women that get the enhancements, they feel confident, like like they feel more of a woman than the next woman, and it's just like that's not you,
That's not healthy. That's why I think therapy is great. I mean, I've gone to therapy during different seasons of my life, and I think it's unfortunately viewed as a weakness.
Mm,
And it shouldn't be viewed that way. Being able to talk to someone and get your feelings out and hear someone have a perspective that you didn't consider that helps you think things through, that is a good thing. And you can't count on your best friend or your mother or your father. Some people don't have that. And are they, what kind of life are they living that they're giving you advice? Seek professional assistance.
No,
And it doesn't
yeah.
mean it's going to go on forever. Like people like, no,
Mm.
I don't want it there. It's like, it doesn't have to go on forever. Just
And
when you
therapy
need it.
needs to be there needs to be a set date, like a graduation date. There's people in therapy for years about the same issues. Like you're
Oh,
not overcoming that.
something. Yes. That's when you change therapists. Like something's going on.
You know.
Really?
So you did a video where I guess you're planting seeds, right, to grow your fruits or you grow your
Uh,
vegetables,
I would
and
say something like that.
so and you left on the floor an orange bat, right?
Oh,
You
yes.
left the
Okay.
bat. Okay. So why? So you went out to go do something, but you had a bat with you. Why?
Because I leave a bat in my car. All about defense, all about protection. You never know. There's wild animals out there. If I got to go hit a Florida panther in the jaw, then I have my bat to do it. I don't want to kill it, right? I mean, I could probably pepper spray it in its eyes, but that is no guarantee it's going to stop. So that's why I have it. And it's kind of out in a more rural area. Um, so it just stays in my car. It just stays there. And garden, as peaceful as it is, my bat's going with me. It's
People,
very sad.
especially women, guys, how many women have to be raped? How many women have to be hurt? In instances where if they had something on them, that could have changed the entire situation. So imagine,
Yes.
God forbid, someone came out there, right? And they wanted to kidnap you. They had a gun too. They wanted to kidnap, or
Mhm.
whatever the case may be. You having that there and it's not in plain sight. They think you're trying to grab something, right? You're trying to grab a seed or whatever, and you gotta go across the head.
Listen, and it's bright yellow too. Like you can try it if you want to. You can try it if you want to. And I usually will take my weapon too, but it's hard to hold that on your body when you're trying to,
Mm.
plant seeds. So it's like, okay, this is a more milder weapon to keep with me. That's all.
But it's
That's so
definitely you teach
funny.
your children the same thing, right?
Yeah, one of the things I want to do is I want to live on like a kind of live a more laid back lifestyle. So I wanted to learn how to grow my own vegetables, and I'm doing a very poor job. So, but I'm gonna stick with it. I am horrible, but I'm gonna stick with it. I'm really bad.
So 2024 is not too far away. What can your supporters, subscribers, supporters expect for you?
2024.
Oh, 2022.
I'm like, what now? Who? Shoot. It's like, I don't know. Let's see. With like my subscribers on My Vivid Life, more content about encouraging people to live in the moment and enjoy their time. I talk about aging gracefully, so all the things that help you age gracefully and living in your peace, creating peace, doing the things that you enjoy, living your bucket list and not having any regrets. My motto: never want to lay on my deathbed and have any regrets that I didn't do something because I was afraid or I didn't try or I didn't have money. All the excuses that we fill in the blank. And while we're young, while we're able and able-bodied, get out and do something that brings you happiness, and not let other things or other people become an obstacle for you to enjoy yourself. That's what My Vivid Lifestyle. So more of those kinds of things. And then for She Fires, I want to get more people out there who don't currently have a weapon, who will touch the weapon, train with the weapon, and buy their own, and continue to practice as often as they can.
How do you want them to support you?
I would love it if any of this interests you to follow me, subscribe. I am on Instagram also, same name. So my Vivid Life on Instagram and YouTube, And then for Instagram, for She Fires, and I just started my YouTube channel. I go to gun ranges, I go to gun shows. I talk about some of the things I've kind of talked with you about, some of the conversations I have with folks about owning a weapon. Actually, I had a friend who said, Kelly, if I don't want to own a weapon because if someone does break into my home, I'll give them whatever they want and then they'll just go away.
She believes
I
that.
was, yes, I was like, oh my gosh, okay, see, you're exactly who I want to talk to. I was like, no, but she's my friend, so I didn't want to be like, oh, hell no, that's not what you do, okay? That is not the response. They will take what you have and they'll take everything.
And maybe
Everything.
even you, you know.
Yes, exactly. I didn't want to say that, but if you're just opening yourself up, and oh, okay, let me go ahead and take advantage. Like bad guy's a bad guy, okay, for a reason.
Drugs,
So
whatever they're on, or you know. So, Kelly, best friend, if you're listening, get a gun.
I'm working on her.
You
I'm
know,
working
you
on
become the intruder. Someone breaks into your house, you become them. All right. That's her. That's
her.
Kelly's words, not mine. So we're gonna put you in something what's called like the hot seat, right? The hot
Oh boy,
seat.
that was a hot seat already.
No. So
Okay, I'm
with a hot
ready.
seat, what I do is that I ask you a question or a statement, or give a word. You respond with one word.
One
You
word,
answer
got
back
it.
with one word. Okay.
Okay, I'm
So
ready.
what state you don't want to live in?
New York.
Hey. Heads or tails?
Head. So
Family.
love.
Money.
Freedom.
It's free.
It's
For
free.
it's free.
Peace.
Homeless people.
Gratefulness.
America's current state.
Promising.
YouTube or Instagram?
YouTube.
If there was a war, who will win? New York City, New York, or Florida?
Florida. Because that's where I live.
Winter,
Ah, cold.
summer.
Happy.
How to go to heaven?
Be nice.
Lizzo.
Um, doing your thing. I don't know how to put that in one word. Living.
Thanksgiving or Christmas?
Uh, Christmas.
Your last name.
Dash.
No, your last name. Like, what does it mean? You know, to you.
Um, protection.
Protection. Um, Handgun or rifle?
Ooh. Handgun. Because I'm
What gun should someone that is new? Let's use your best friend. What should be her choice of first gun? Her first gun. I think she should work with a butter knife first, but you
I
know.
know, right? I never like to say, but some of the starter ones that I've been told, an M&P Shield, P6 hour, P365 6 hour. Some of the smaller ones, so people can kind of get comfortable with it. But again, it's a personal choice. It's a personal choice.
Mm. My vivid life.
Inspiring.
She fires.
Self protection.
This interview.
I opening. I learned some new things about myself.
You had a good time?
I did. I learned. I was like, I gotta think about that.
So that's it. The interview's done. 54 minutes. Listen, I highly appreciate your time. Yeah.
Oh, you caught that?
Did you feel like you was being quizzed?
No, it was good. It was very good. I actually had fun. I appreciate having the